There's precisely 3 feelings that I want to experience when I walk into my home during the summer months. I want to feel happy, I want to feel inspired, and I definitely want to feel relaxed. I want my rooms to feel effortless, but still pulled together, and I honestly think that you probably feel the same. So how do we make our homes feel fresh and designer level beautiful for the summer season, but without like a big fuss or a ton of effort? Well, I've got easy summer updates that'll have your home looking fab and you relaxing with your feet up in no time. So here we go. First and foremost, and this is something that I think is super easy and people just honestly don't think about it that often, and that is to add maybe a few fun, fresh new lampshades to your table lamps. Now, this one is easy. I just think that sometimes we don't actually think about lampshades because we get our lamps placed on our tabletops, we put the shades on there, maybe sometimes we're just using the shade that they come with, and we're not really thinking that we can change our lampshades out like we change our throw pillows out. So my challenge to you would be to get on the internet, or maybe when you're at your local design store, look and see what lampshades options are out there. There are so many great fun patterns and textures, shapes, and you can just add a lot of personality to your rooms by switching out one or a couple of lampshades. This is for tabletop lamps, this is for floor lamps, this can even be for sconces and for chandeliers. So try this one out, I think you're gonna like it. Now, next up, I will say that in the summer months especially, there is nothing to me that feels more relaxed than woven accessories. And I know that this is not like groundbreaking information, but a lot of times I think that we think to incorporate woven materials in the summer more often than maybe in the fall and winter months, but we're not necessarily thinking about the tone of the material, maybe the pattern of the weave, and what it is exactly that we're adding into the mix. Are we adding a tray? Are we adding boxes? Are we adding something a little bit outside of the box? Maybe it's a really beautiful antique basket. I think that when we find unique woven accessories that are a little bit more unexpected, we can really add a pop of personality to our rooms in the summer, and it gives us that ability to just add a little layer of kind of easygoing vibes. So find a beautiful woven piece that you love. Maybe you already have one. I have a ton of antique baskets that I love bringing out in the summer months, maybe just to stash by the back door in the mudroom. I like to stash all of our sunscreen in a basket. I have a really beautiful vintage basket that I love putting a potted plant inside of. And then of course I've got woven trays and things like that. Okay, next up on our list, and I love this one, not just for the summer months, I also love it for the winter. I just think it's a really fun and easy way to add a little bit of a classic detail to your home. And that is to add a pop of color with a fun tassel, either on a lamp or maybe on the pull of a furniture piece. Tassels are just such a classic element in my opinion. They don't have to be fussy. They don't have to be super, super traditional. They can be a little bit more pared back, a little bit more transitional, but they're a great opportunity to add a little pop of color when maybe you don't want to go all in with fuchsia or all in with robin's egg blue in the summer months with a ton of different accessories in those colors, but you can add a fun pop of whimsy and a little bit of an unexpected touch to your spaces with some tassels. I even love putting them on doorknobs and door levers. Tassels are just an all-round fun addition, in my opinion. Okay, next up, and this is another one that I think sometimes we don't necessarily go to first or think of first when it comes to decorating seasonally in our home, and that is to maybe switch up your art placement. So maybe bring some pieces that you have in a guest bedroom or in a hallway, or maybe, somewhere else in the house that has a little bit more of a subject matter that is in keeping with the summer and spring months, or maybe it has a fun color palette. Just bringing those out and putting them in our main living spaces in lieu of some darker artwork. I think that this just injects a ton of energy into your room, and I'm not saying go out and buy new artwork. I'm just saying look around your house, see what you already have that might feel a little bit more fresh, a little bit lighter, brighter, and happier for the summer months. I know for me, I have got this piece of artwork that I actually bought 2 summers ago when I was on a trip with my mom and my sister in Martha's Vineyard. It's this really beautiful coastal painting. It's very small, but it has such pretty colors in it. And every time I look at it, it reminds me of a really memorable vacation with my mom and my sister. I love having that piece of art in a place that helps me remember that the most memorable experiences in life rarely happen by accident. So whether that is creating a home that makes people feel instantly welcome, or hosting friends for the summer months, or maybe a dinner on the patio, or even planning an unforgettable vacation, the magic is almost always in the thoughtful details. And honestly, I've always been a person who loves that part. I genuinely love researching beautiful hotels and discovering hidden gems and finding amazing restaurants and helping friends and family figure out where they should stay on a vacation or what they should not miss. I just loved creating experiences that people will remember, which is why I was so intrigued when I learned about today's sponsor, Fora. Fora is a modern travel agency built for people who love planning travel and helping others travel well. As a Fora advisor, your subscription gives you access to powerful booking technology, industry training, and a global community of travel experts that help you build your own travel business with confidence. Now, one thing that I really love and that stood out to me is that Fora advisors also have access to more than 7,000 preferred travel partners, which means you can create elevated travel experiences for your clients with perks like room upgrades and resort credits and late checkouts. So if you're a person everyone comes to for travel recommendations or planning the perfect getaway, this honestly might be worth looking into. Become a Fora travel advisor today at foratravel.com/YouTube. Click the link in my description to learn more and become a Fora travel advisor. All right, let's keep going because I have a few more summer updates that can really make your home feel inspired and refreshed for the season ahead. So next up, of course I'm gonna include this on the list, potted plants and fresh flowers. Now, you know, if you've been on the channel for a hot minute, that I love to garden. I literally spend most of the spring and summer seasons right outside in that garden. And one of the benefits of having a cut flower garden is that I love to bring all of those beautiful flowers inside. It's really the reason I created my garden in the first place. There is such an energy to live plants and beautiful flowers. There's just something about it. It just screams summer. And when we bring those elements into our rooms, it adds an energy and a freshness to our spaces. And it also gives us an injection of color into our interiors that we might not otherwise get. So even if you don't have a garden, my homework for you is to maybe bring in a couple of stems from a really beautiful tree or shrub that you have in your yard, or go to the farmer's market, pick up a handful of sunflowers, or maybe stop by your local garden center and grab a really pretty plant that you can include in your interiors. Maybe you put it in your kitchen, on your countertop, maybe it's on your cocktail table, maybe it's in your bathroom where you get ready every morning. It just is a really easy, affordable way to add a beautiful summer vibe to your interiors this season. Okay, now next up, and I know you've heard this one before, but I have to say it because if I didn't say it, people are gonna be in the comments like, you didn't talk about pillows and throws. So I'm gonna talk about pillows and throws. This is so easy. This isn't reinventing the wheel. It's so easy to change out your throw pillows and blankets on your sofa, on your bed, on a bench in your entry, all of the above. It's a really affordable way to do it, and it does create a fresh new energy in your house. Now, I'm not saying you have to go out every season and buy new throw pillows and blankets. I do not do that. I have got kind of a little library of pillow covers that I absolutely love, and I change them out seasonally, and it makes my rooms feel fresh. I get to inject a new color of the season. If you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I'm really into kind of deciding on a color of the season for myself. Every year, it's usually a little bit different, or maybe some years I'm like, I really loved that light blue I used last year, so I'm gonna use it again. It just helps me to create some cadence within the way that I decorate in a season. And a lot of times I introduce that color, or that the largest, I guess, pop of that color is usually on throw pillows. So just grab yourself a couple of new throw pillows and change them out on your sofa. It's an easy switch and it will make a big difference in how your room feels. Okay, next up I wanna talk about accessories. Y'all know I love to accessorize and I love to style my surfaces in my home and restyle them. It's just fun for me. It's a creative practice and it brings me joy. So my suggestion would be, if you have some accessory pieces throughout your home that feel a little lighter, maybe they're a bright white, or maybe they're made out of a really beautiful light wood, or maybe it's a stone that feels very beachy, put those in a place of prominence during the summer months. I have some really cool shell accessories, and I'm not talking about like super cheesy shell accessories. I'm talking about like this. Actually, I just grabbed this off the cocktail table. Look how pretty that is. It's a little wooden shell box, and I don't keep it out all the time, but it's definitely on my cocktail table for the summer months. It's actually vintage, but just things like that. It just kind of adds a little personality to your interior spaces, and it's a nod to the season, a nod to what we're all experiencing in the summer months. And that's a lot of times being outside. Maybe you're traveling to the beach. Maybe you are hiking and you bring something really beautiful from, a hike that you've been on, maybe a found object. Maybe you love antiquing in the summer months and you're leaning into pieces that you found that you feel are a little bit more summer adjacent, if you will. So just think about switching them up. It doesn't have to be that you go out and buy new accessories. It doesn't have to be that it's super complicated or stressful. Just look for pieces around your house that may not be in a place that you can really appreciate them in the summer, and put them in a place that draws your attention and gives you the feeling that we all want in the summer, which is relaxed and inspired. Okay, this one, it may not be something that you've heard before, because I feel like it's a suggestion always for fall and winter, but I actually really love it for summer, and that is adding in some soft candlelight into your rooms for the evenings. We're gonna do that in the colder months. We obviously want like that cozy feeling in the cozy months, but I think having candlelight in the summer is a celebration of longer evenings, of, enjoying moments with your friends and family. We're often hanging out later into the evening. And so having candlelight, or if it's an outside space, having table lamps, or maybe a really beautiful string of lights outside, just creating ambiance with lighting in the evenings in the summer is something I think a lot of people don't think about, but it really does make a big difference. I also love to incorporate the lightness and brightness of glass and silver into the summer months. So that means, like, if I do have a really beautiful oil candle, which I always use my Daphne oil candles that I designed in my house, those candles alone, just because they're made from glass, they feel lighter and brighter, and they add to that whole relaxed vibe in the summer. And then a lot of times I will pair the Daphne candle with a snuffer. I have a ton of these. I have brass ones, of course, but I love this silver one. It just feels so tailored to me. And silver or polished nickel, I think, is a metal finish that I lean into in the summer months because it feels fresh and it feels summery to me. Okay, now let's talk about some practical design tips for the summer. And that is, first and foremost, I think we just have more stuff in the summer. We have farmer's market bags, and we have sun hats, and we have vases for fresh flowers, and maybe our kids are into more sports in the summer, so we have some more sports gear. And we really need to create thoughtful landing spots for all of those summer essentials. I know earlier I mentioned that by my back door I have a little basket of sunscreen because I'm out in the garden all summer long and I just want it to be somewhere where I can grab it easy. I have all of my sun hats on my hooks in the mudroom. So think about the activities that you're spending time doing in the summer, whether it's at your house or whether you're leaving your home to do that, and create a place where you can gather all of those essentials, and they not only look beautiful, but they're really easy to use, to grab, to know where they are. This could be in baskets, this could be hooks, like I said. This could be a little catch-all tray, maybe that you add to your entry table. This is practical design, it's beautiful design, but when we are thinking through decorating for the way that we actually live, that is when our houses become exactly what they're meant to be for us. They are serving our needs and meeting us right where we are. Okay, now let's talk about a couple of tips for bringing summer beauty and bounty into your kitchen spaces. So one of my very, very favorite things about the summer months is going to the farmer's market and getting fresh produce and fruits and beautiful sunflowers and all the things. And one of my favorite things once I've done that is to bring all of those beautiful fruits and veggies home and put them, if I can, out in the kitchen. Now, obviously some things need to be refrigerated, but for the most part, I love a big, beautiful bowl with all of my tomatoes or lemons and limes or berries or asparagus or whatever it is, like whatever you love to buy in the summer. I just think it's so pretty to have it out on the countertops if you don't need to refrigerate it. It just feels summery and fresh to me, and it celebrates the season in the most beautiful, thoughtful way, in my opinion. Another idea for your kitchen, and this is something I always do in the kitchen and I also do it during the holidays, is to create a little drink station for either maybe an impromptu cocktail or creating a refreshing summer drink. I know that for me, like I said earlier, I spend a ton of time outside in the garden, and we're just outside as a family a lot in the summer. And so having a little place in the kitchen or on a bar cart or whatever, where you can come in, you can make a cocktail at the end of the day, you can make a glass of iced tea, and it's all beautifully styled. It just feels elevated. And it feels like you're creating a little moment for some summer fun. I just think that, when we go to hotels and we experience in the lounge or in the lobby, there's this beautiful little drink station and we can get infused water and they got all the fresh fruit and the flowers. We feel very taken care of, and we can do that for ourselves. It's really not a big deal to create a drink station, and it's practical and it's beautiful, and I think it'll just spark a little joy in your heart during the summer months, which our houses should always do for us. Okay, the next thing, and this is a really big one, it's not necessarily about your interiors, but I think that it's really essential that we make sure that we've got a welcoming, relaxing place to spend time and entertain outdoors. We think about our interior spaces a lot, and I'll be honest, we spend just as much time outside in the summer and spring as we do inside. It is just the way life is here in the South. Now, it gets hot here, so of course I've got to have ceiling fans and all the things, and we're not going out there necessarily in the heat of the day, but most of the times we're ending our day outside. And so it is essential that the outdoor spaces of my house and of your house are welcoming and are equipped with what you need to enjoy the summer months outdoors. All of the principles that we're talking about, and really just decorating and design principles in general, apply outdoors when you think about it. So think about adding a great place to sit, a place to sit your drink down. So you have a place to maybe put your feet up or have a conversation with a family member or a friend, or maybe just spend a little time alone. Do you have a place where you can enjoy an alfresco meal or maybe a cup of coffee in the morning for yourself? I want you to just really kind of let your imagination and creativity come into play when you're thinking about your best day outdoors at your home. And what could you do that would be easy? It doesn't have to be a big deal. You don't have to spend a ton of money. Just a few thoughtful details can really make a big impact on how not only we enjoy our homes in our outdoor spaces, but also how we enjoy and use our homes inside during the summer months. Now, I have spent a ton of time thinking through designing, planning, decorating my outdoor spaces, and planting, planning, pruning my garden. It is my happy place. And if you're interested in seeing my beautiful cut flower dream garden. I would love to take you on a tour, so meet me in this next video. I'll see you there.